So, to make a long story short, I had been working as an intervention specialist. Um, I was certified as an early childhood intervention specialist, so preschool through third grade. Um, I was working in a public school system, and then I started working in the private sector. Um, and my license expired at the end of June. So I had to leave the company I was with because in order to work for them, you have to be licensed. Um, and at first, um, I wasn't sure if I wanted to explore a different career path, um, but I knew that in the meantime, I needed um, to just start working again. So I started substituting. I had my first substitute teaching experience today. Um, and I just want to say that it's interesting being on the other side of the coin. And what I mean by that is when I worked as an intervention specialist and when I was actually teaching, I would have to request subs on occasion. So I would need to go in the system, put in a request, and then someone would pick that up as a sub. So now being the one that picks up requests from teachers is just, it's neat to see like the full, like both sides of it. Um, but my experience today in the classroom, I mean, it was good. It was challenging. And one thing I will say is that it was probably one of the more challenging classes that I've dealt with in my teaching career. Um, and, but at the same time, it really made me appreciate what I do as an intervention specialist and that one-on-one and small group time that I get with my kids even more. It really makes me just appreciate the relationships I build in that setting as opposed to a classroom setting. Um, so for those of you who don't know, when I started out as a teacher, I started out in the classroom. Um, and there are intervention specialists who are in a classroom setting with the gen ed teacher. So it's called an inclusion setting. Um, and I tried that, and I'm just going to say it was not my forte. The classroom setting was not my favorite thing, um, which is okay because it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Um, in a classroom setting, I would have anywhere from 15 to 20 kids. And in a group like that, you have Johnny over here who needs help with some homework he's working on. And then you have Bobby over here who's getting in a fight with Susie. And then you have Tim who just had an accident on the carpet. And then you have I don't know, this other kid who's getting in a fight or some other altercation. So it's hard to divide attention and keep watch over everything that's happening. It was for me at least. Um, and I also didn't find that I could build those relationships, those deep relationships, um, like I can in a one-on-one and small group setting. I definitely feel like my time as a one-on-one and small group intervention specialist has been so much more rewarding and fulfilling as opposed to being in the classroom. Um, and I had been tossing around the idea of renewing my intervention specialist license. Um, and at first, I didn't know if I wanted to explore a different career path, but just from having different conversations with people about my experiences with my students, and my experiences getting to help my kids, it just really made me realize that my heart is still very much in it. My heart is still very much wanting to help these kids on this level. And when I sat through my substitute orientation last Tuesday and hearing the lady from the Educational Service Center talk about her experiences as an intervention specialist and what she did in that role, it just really made me reflect on my time. And it really made me think, like, wait a minute, I don't think I'm done here. I don't think I'm done helping these kids in this capacity. And so I had started tossing around the idea, but I think my experience today in the classroom really solidified that. Because it made me realize just how much I miss being there for those kids in that capacity and getting to change their lives in that way. And the relationships I built with my kids were just priceless. I mean, that's not something that you can put a price tag on. And I've told people, you know, I look at all my students as my kids. And I just miss them so much. So as of right now, the goal is for me to sub until I can save up enough money to take the classes I need to renew my license. And, you know, I'm taking this one day at a time because I realize that things could change, life happens. But as of right now, that is what I'm set on. And I don't know, we'll just see what happens, but I'm pretty excited about it.